Hi, welcome to Live Critical Misspell. My name's Adrian.
I'm doing, and how's your week been anyway?
Better. It's getting better.
That's good. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah. Getting through stuff. I had a lot of stuff arrive this week. So do you want to see what arrived in my house?
Let's see what arrived then.
Arrived because I think people have hinted that we kind of hinted that this is coming at some stage.
Yes.
Which is Nimble.
Yeah, I was saying before we were on stream, the books are much shorter, smaller in size than I thought they would be.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to be A5 either. I'm really quite surprised.
I mean, I like that size. Don't get me wrong.
It's A5 now has become my favorite size, and so I was very disappointed when this arrived. Which is people keep telling me that I need to review this, so I ended up buying. And I'm only disappointed because it's A4.
I was going to say I quite like the artwork on the front of it.
Just don't want it. It's basically it's a monster manual that will convert any D20 game.
Oh wow!
So,
okay,
and run how creatures would also run. And then very kindly, Alex T from Black Oath Games sent me the leather-bound limited edition copy of my favorite solo game. And that just because he likes,
very cool.
It's a very good game. It's that turn of the first century game.
Oh yeah, I watched your review on one of them, I think.
Yeah. And he then annoyingly sent me this because he knows I'm then going to want to play this. This is a solo co-op skirmish game.
Wow.
It sounds using a D100 roll under, which sounds madly interesting.
Hold on, let's get that straight. It's a solo skirmish game.
Yes.
Okay.
And co-op. So it's basically it's a skirmish game with solo rules, but it's a proper war game that's going to have stories in and stuff like that.
Oh right. Well, colour me intrigued. That sounds interesting.
And then I got Grunder that I thought said grinder.
Oh, I bet you did.
Yeah, I bet you did. I was disappointed when I found out it was Grunder, which is in a business adventure role-playing game. And then an AI creativity. It's still talking about issues and problems with AI in the industry and stuff.
Oh wow, that's cool.
So, yeah, quite a lot to read and review at some stage.
Your poor postman been very busy.
I know, and Valentine's Day last week. So, the amount of things that turned up at my house, unbelievable. I bet you had the same, didn't you?
Yeah, similar. Whole ferry load of Valentine's stuff. Yeah, all came to the island. Crazy.
Yeah, the whole island. I bet it was just the whole island was you. How was your week? All right.
I wish. My week's been good. Busy. Got a lot of things finished, which is good. So I finished the first draft of my next solo RPG that I will hopefully, if I pull my finger out and get it all done in time, will be released by the end of April, I hope.
Is that using the Q system that you and Charlotte have done? Or
our Q. Well, we've changed the name to Q Pulp is what it's currently called. Whether that'll be what it is called when it's released, I don't know. But we've sort of made 3 different games out of this system now. So that you got Charlotte's zombie game, you got this game that I've been developing. Then we've got our Roaming Realms games, which we play tested a while back and have refined quite a lot. So the idea is to get at least one of them out before the expo.
Yeah.
So that's cool. It. Yeah.
That's
cool. Been busy. I think very busy.
I had a few comments on that when I did Charlotte's book for Zine Quest. I think a few people had sort of going, it'd been nice. They're kind of hoping that I wasn't just reading it out and I was talking a little bit about what the art style was going to be and stuff. So, but I'm just seeing Matt Jones agrees that Monster Overhaul is a great book, apparently.
Oh, good.
And it's got a thingy in it, ribbon, which is always good.
Thingy in it, yeah, ribbon. Yeah. I always like 2 ribbons is my go-to now.
Oh, you would do, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I know.
I decided not to say anything horrible at you then, so I was like, no. You're trying to walk me into an insult.
If you are making a hardback book, adding a ribbon to it does add to the cost of making it. Something awful. It's crazy. Yeah,
I can imagine. I saw on one of the zine quests I did. I saw one of the best pledge. What's it called?
Oh, support level things.
No, yeah. So it's not pledge level. I can't think what it's called. Where's my brain gone today? So yeah, pledge level where they went through, and he basically said, if we get to here, we all get a 10% pay rise. We get to here, we get 20%. I was absolutely
That's
really
good.
behind that.
Really good.
Basically said, if we sell enough, we're just going to take a little bit more profit. out of it ourselves, which I thought was good.
Brilliant.
And a few other things on there. So yeah, that was good.
Right.
So coming up,
I was going to say,
we've got review of 13 Age. To be involved with 13 Age, which, as you can see, Chris Black is deeply excited about. Obviously, or just comment anywhere up here. Then at 9 o'clock, we'll do a draw. If your name comes up, we'll use the wheel of disappointment, and if your number does come up, we'll send you PDF copies at the end of the video. We're then going to talk about Games Master Burnout and that horribleness of running long campaigns and how we cope not having burnout. Because like you said off camera, you went, I can't imagine I've ever suffered with them. I'm like, nope, I'm special.
Well, you're just very enthusiastic about the hobby and everything to do with it. So you just don't strike me as somebody who'd ever have to deal with something like that.
I had that comment today on a video. I did the review of Temple of Spite, which is the new Cubicle 7 book for Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. And the comment was something like, I love your enthusiasm that you bring. It was something along those lines. So do most people just drone on reviews when they're talking about stuff? I
don't know. Yeah, you do have a lot of energy when you're talking about your reviews. I sometimes look at how long your videos are and think, maybe not this one. But then I turn it on and you end up hooked to it because you're so enthusiastic about everything.
Well, the problem is,
which is really good.
Yeah, I only review things I like because, like I say, I can't sit for hours and just read a book over and over and again, then come back and play test characters and stuff. If I do that, I'm like, I can't commit to a 90-minute video sometime.
Yeah,
but I try and I'm deliberately now trying to edit down below an hour. So that's
good.
That's good. Yeah. being conscientious to the viewer. Right, we're gonna do news.
Yep. You see, I knew it was coming that time.
I know. I'm trying to be good for you.
Very good of you. Right, should I do my little bit of news first, and then you can do your more exciting stuff?
Yeah, more exciting news. I won this week.
So you definitely won this week. It is once again start of the year. It's a very slow news week, so I only have 4 items on my list today. So first off, D&D Beyond is getting a complete rebuild, and they've got a roadmap together for that. I've used D&D Beyond before. I've always thought it was all right, but I don't really play D&D anymore, so I don't really use it. So if anyone does use it, it's there.
You're right with those comments over your face. I just really thought we can put them on the screen, but they're bouncing over your face.
It doesn't bother me now.
Okay, we'll leave them there. Cool.
Yeah. We've got not 1 but 2 different Ghost in the Shell RPGs in development. I vaguely remember watching the manga, I think, when in the 90s at some point. I think that's my only kind of interaction. Were you ever into manga or anything like that?
Yeah. Up until, and then I was asked to watch Akira because everyone was going, it's an amazing game.
Akira is a brilliant film.
It's not. The first half is really good, and then it just goes dramatically downhill from there.
From a technical animation point of view, it's a mind-blowingly amazing film.
But yeah, Fist of the North Star was one of my favorites.
I do remember that one. Yeah. Well, anyway, there's 2 Ghost in the Shell RPGs in development, which is quite interesting. And now this is what I think is quite disappointing news, and it's been floated around for a while, but it's actually happening, is they are making a 5e version of Traveller.
Yes, I caught that.
So they're taking Traveller and transporting it into D&D 5e rules, which just seems bizarre to me.
Yeah, I'm trying not to swear.
That's my disappointing bit of news. And my very last thing, which you'll be very aware of, and probably relieved when February is over, Zine Quest. We're in our last few days of Zine Quest now for most campaigns anyway.
Thank you. Weirdly, there's campaigns that have launched today.
Really?
Wow. Yeah. So, because when I first started my Zine Quest idea, there was, I think it was 65 zines. Now we're well over 100.
Wow.
And that there are some launching today. One of which I've done a video on, which is Femora, the anthology for Femora's the amazing Shadowdark campaign setting. Which and in this anthology, I've written 2 adventures for it. So go out and support me.
Fantastic.
Support Brian. Bill Harvett's on it. Who else is on there? Will MB's on there and a few others of us. So yeah,
Cool.
That's exciting. That's exciting. But that's not the main news. Are you done with your news? Your
I'm
disappointing
done with my
news.
That was it. Very, very slim this week.
So I'll start with the exciting news, and then I'll do the really exciting news from an email that I had from the Arcane Library today. But this is my first bit of news, which has got me very excited, which is that Slay Industries, one of the most underrated games of all time, because the systems are never the best. Let's go with. First edition was a bit meh. Second edition, I like it, but it's difficult to get to the table, is going to get a full Savage Worlds 20 years after people have been asked it. So
wow. Does it have a release date yet?
No. I've gone backwards and forwards a little bit to Jared, and I'm going to try and get him on for a early interview to find out a little bit what's going on. So I'm really excited for that. Love Savage Worlds, love Slay. So the downside of Slay's always been the sort of wonky system. We did the review of second edition, didn't we? With that D10 pull system. Yeah. We all went, it's all right, but yeah, just overly complicated. And my second bit of news, and I'm going to have to read this out. And this comes back from Michael Putlack, who is deals with the distribution on behalf of the Arcane Library. And I've played a game with him. So I was just looking because the final pledge ends on the 28th for Western Reaches. So if you are looking at Western Marches, isn't it? Western Marches.
No, you're
get it the right way around. Yeah. Anyway, the latest Shadow Dark Kickstarter from Arcane Library. I've got it wrong in my head now, but it's going to be shipped from China straight into a EU and European and English distributor, which means we're going to miss out a shed load of the fees and charges. The same thing is happening in Australia and Canada as well. So that is, I think, super news. They've also confirmed that I will be able to have my books for the expo. So I've put my order in for some Shadow Dark books. I'm hopefully getting some zines and stuff as well. I don't know whether I'm going to get any of the Kickstarter books, but I'm going to see if I can get some of the Western Marches Kickstarter books as well to sell at the expo.
Either way, I'm pretty sure you'll be, if not the only person selling that kind of thing there, you'll be one of a very small number, I think.
Yeah. So get your wallets out, guys. Oh, there you go. There we go.
Very good.
Very good.
Excellent.
Okay, so do you want to get into 13th Age?
Yeah, if we have to.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't get my books out. They're not on the shelf.
I knew there was something we forgot.
There is. But have you got on in general with 13th Age? The 600 pages.
There was a lot. It was a lot.
It's becoming a bit of an ask when we pick an ask. That's ask with a K, also with two S's in a way. When we are
a little bit, yeah.
These quite large books.
Yeah, it was a lot, and I was completely unfamiliar with the first edition of 13th Age as well. So I wouldn't. I think my word for this whole.
That's not us, Chris. By the way, if all your comments are disappearing. Last week, I tried to put a thank you and put 2 kisses at the end of it, at the end of the video, and YouTube blocked me from sending it. They thought I was spam on my own channel.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think my overwhelming kind of word I would use for 13th Age Second Edition is inconsistent.
Ooh.
Yeah. Just and I'll get to it when we talk about it. But if we start off with art and layout.
I before we get into this, just quickly, I knew that you weren't gonna like this. Overly.
Well, thank you so much for picking it then.
I just as I was reading this, I was like, this because as much as it's a D20 system, it's a very heroic game, which really surprised me. I was surprised just how powerful out of the gates the level 1 characters are. So,
and I think that's one of the things going through this. It just made me really cemented in my mind how I'm just really not interested in that kind of game anymore.
Yeah.
And truth be told, it even made me a little bit bored of D20 games in general. just because I feel like I've seen so many variations of a very similar thing now.
Yeah,
I'm just a bit burnt out by it, maybe. But yeah, in terms of art and layout, I would say each individual piece of art is genuinely very, very good. My problem with it is it's all over the place in terms of style and technique. You know, I don't think there's any bad art in here at all. It's just so weird. Like some of it looks really kind of late 90s, early 2000s. Some of it looks like it's trying to be D&D 5e. Some of it is almost comic book art. And I just didn't feel like it gave me a good picture of what this game actually is.
Yeah, it's like
layout-wise, it was okay.
Like the one we're here, it's I don't know. It's like they use too many artists. I'm completely with you on it. So that some of the art is exceptional. I think it's like the cover art. I don't like the cover.
Well, it looks very dated. That's the thing.
Yeah. We'll just spend a bit of time.
Yeah. I mean, I will say in general, the artwork in the Games Master's book is much better than the player's book.
I totally. It's very weird because you'd think
very strange.
You're going to sell more copies of the Heroes book than you were a Games Master's book because you can pick them up separately. So yeah, it does seem the way. But from a layout point of view, they do this weird thing where you can get both books are one total book, aren't they? Because
that really confused me in the pile of PDFs.
Yeah, because if we'll just take it through, where is it? I think it's here, isn't it? Yeah. So the first 7 chapters are in this book. And then you've got chapters 8 through to 12, which is in the Games Master's guide. But here's the Games Master's cover. So much nicer. I think I would argue this is pretty stunning for a cover. But yeah, I do like the fact they put all the Kickstarter backers right at the start.
Yes, that was good. Normally that's shoved in the back, isn't it?
Yeah, hidden away. But yeah, so art and layout, you're not a massive fan. You weren't.
The art just confused me more. I mean, like I said, if you take each individual piece on its own, nothing's bad. Yeah. But together, it just becomes a bit of a confusing mess.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't tell you whether the feel they were going for with this game was kind of sword and sorcery or kind of Renaissance or Dark Ages. I just couldn't tell you. The art did not answer that question for me. So in terms of that, I didn't think the layout was terrible. I didn't think it was anything particularly special. So I gave art and layout a 2.
This isn't going to go well at all, is it, for 13th Age?
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I think the layout is absolutely amazing. It is so easy to read. And it flows through character generation, how to create your character, then naturally goes into the Games Master, builds the world, everything else. But like I say, I don't like the art. I like some of it. I don't like all of it, if that makes sense. I know that's incredibly subjective.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But it is each individual piece on its own, fine. All together, very, very mismatched and confusing.
20. We both could have looked. It's like they took 20 different artists and go, pick up your own style and we'll just include everyone. So I'm sadly at a 3. So this isn't a very good start for 13th Age.
Oof. Wow, your 3 is like my 1 most of the time.
Yeah, I know. I know.
All right, rules and system. So the rules, I will say this. I felt like the rules were trying to, or rather, they're doing kind of the same thing that Draw Steel's trying to do. They're trying to make something. Wow. Okay. I don't feel quite so bad about giving it a 2 now. Jeez.
Good.
I think the rules they're trying to do similar to what Draw Steel was trying to do. I think, which is kind of take essentially 5e and make it better and make it flow more. And I kind of think it does a better job than Draw Steel does. And it has a few additions. Like I really like the word's gone out of my head. It's a dice that you
escalation dice.
Escalation dice. I genuinely really liked that mechanic, but at the same time, just going through the classes and everything else, I'll be honest, I just wasn't very excited by it. There was a few little things here and there, and I quite liked, but on the whole, So rules and system for me only gets a 3. It's very right down the middle.
Oh God! I thought the rules and systems were absolutely amazing with this because I say I'm not a fan of heroic fantasy, despite the fact that Nimble is down next to me, and this is heroic fantasy. But this does heroic fantasy right, because it's very quick in combat. I've recorded my review of this because I was really excited once I actually got down playing it, because with that escalation dice, which I'll quickly explain in a second, it makes combats fast. So the escalation dice works as this. So first round of combat, everything's normal. But like I say, players are very heroic, but monsters are super heroic and scary when you get into the beastry. But come the second round, you put a d6 down in front of the players, and on the one, and all the players get +1 to all their attack rolls. And every round you add to it, and finally they're getting +6. So as the combat's going on, they're getting stronger. But really cleverly, you've got feats, powers, and magical abilities that come online and become more powerful as the escalation die gets larger. It's absolutely fucking fantastic, because it allows you, when you're playing it, to go, right, do I cast my fireball now at the second round, or do I leave it for 3 rounds, which is going to do twice as much damage, but there'll be more creatures attacking in, but I've got more chance of pulling the... It allows it to be really strategic. It's weirdly 5th edition with 4th edition mechanics, because it also has, and I can't remember what it's called because I forgot to write it down. So 4th edition had the blooded state, which means when a monster got to 50 hit points, by 50%, it had new powers and abilities, new spells. This has exactly the same. Certain feats come online. The monsters do different attacks and damage once they get to 50% hit points. Playing this, I was absolutely blown away. And I hate heroic fantasy, and I came back from it going, this is like playing. I compared it to Flesh and Blood, the card game. So if you've ever played the collectible card game, where because each class, you can only play each class, you can't play anything else, but you've got hundreds of options, and within each class as well, it's got all the spells. You don't have to find them anywhere else in the book. Everything's contained. But it's like getting a deck of cards. You buy your deck of cards, and then you go up a level, and as you go up levels, you become automatically more powerful. You get higher rolls, and it's like that, where you just add in new cards and ability into your deck. But it's not a random deck, because you get to decide when you play the cards. I thought it worked amazingly well. Hence the reason I'm giving it a 5, just to spite you.
Wow. I will say this, reading this, it definitely kind of cemented in my mind that heroic, or that kind of super heroic fantasy, isn't for me. But having gone through Draw Steel, I do feel like this does a better job than what it does. But my main criticism really is maybe not this game's fault. It's kind of like they came up with this escalation die mechanic, and which is brilliant. But I feel like they're just trying to put a sticky plaster over a problem, rather than kind of say, okay, well, the kind of D20 combat system takes too long and it's awful. Why don't we do something completely new? Maybe I was thinking too much into it there, but I don't know.
No, but games aren't for everyone, are they?
No, that's it. No. That's it, exactly.
So,
yeah,
you know.
All right, character generation. I didn't hate this part.
Ooh.
I felt like every class had flavor. It does a really good job of adding a bit more to it than I think other D20 games do. I mean, it's all still very familiar in that regard. I kind of liked the different species you can be. I think some of them were quite interesting. So yeah, I actually gave this a 4 for character generation.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It's nice to see. So what have we got? 13 different kins or ancestries, 9 different classes. The traditional classes, you know, bard, barbarian, rogue, all that, all the way through. But the thing I found really strange when I first looked at it is when you get into the classes, it actually tells you how difficult they are to play. Again, which is why I'm going to throw it back to the collectible card game. Right, Semper's comments are being erased as well. That's really weird. That's not us. That's not us. We were saying this. We had this last week where we wrote a few things and they were being edited out by.
Yeah, not sure what's going on there.
The YouTube gods. But each class does feel very unique. You can't multi-class, but they've got their own defined roles in here, which I thought was really nice now, because, you know, when you get into other editions, like let's just pick 5th edition, everything is blurred. It was, who can heal? We can all heal. We can all do this.
Everyone can do everything. Yeah.
Yeah. The kin, so ancestry, is where it's very Shadow Dark essence in that, because all the kin are exactly the same. So it doesn't change anything ability-wise. And you get to pick one of three. It's not feats, it's abilities, isn't it? That they get.
That's right.
Well, powers, I think it's called.
Mm.
So the only problem I have with it is you're going to have that FOMO bit. You're going to go, well, there's 2 powers here I want. I don't know which one I want out of my sort of kin powers. And I couldn't find a feat that allowed you to take an additional power. Because it implies that some of them will allow you to, as in, some races are more, some people in races. But I thought from an options point of view, it's absolutely amazing, unless you want to play the bard or like the mage, because the way it writes it out. So for the bard, which blew my mind, because I looked at it when I did the review. So the barbarian was something like 9 pages. The bard is something like 24.
Yeah,
because it's all thrown in. Because not only do you pick the style of the spells of the bard, you have to pick the instrument you play, how you manipulate and convince people to like you, be it through song, dance. And I was like, but I can't fault it from an option point of view. Hence the reason it's a 5.
Wow. Okay.
I didn't want to like this. As soon as I found out it was a heroic, I thought it was going to be a dark fantasy setting. I really did.
I didn't know. I'll be honest. I didn't know what to expect. So it took me a long time to actually figure out what it actually was, more than anything else.
I think that naturally brings us then onto the setting, doesn't it? Which
go on, you go first for this one.
You get really none of the setting in the player's guide. You haven't got a clue the sort of character that you're playing. And then once you get to the games master section, it talks about the world. There's quite a lot of the world in here, but not enough to really. I'm going to need more books to buy. I'm definitely going to need, but it does give a very good first level adventure at the start to get you going. The thing I dislike about it, and that's because I sort of solo played it, I could not wrap my head around the icons of what because the game sort of kind of throws you about the icons. The icons are everything. They're the most important thing. Characters are, so that these are 12 creatures of quite high power, not godlike of power, that it heavily influence the world. And I just couldn't get behind the icons, if that makes sense. The world could have been anywhere, as far as I'm concerned, because the art style kind of didn't make me pull in a certain direction. It had that genericness about it, if you get what I mean. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to getting into it a little bit more. But for setting point of view,
I think the problem with the icons is that I really like that as an idea, but they're very, very kind of vague and quite broad. And I know what you mean.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention this. This has got the best example of play I've ever seen in any book, and loads of as you go through. The first 15 pages of the book are an example of play, and you could just read that, and then you don't have to read the rest of the book within reason. You can just keep coming back to it. Oh my God, are you really?
I'm just reading that one. Yes. Good luck, Troy.
I love the flavor of the bard. But and I do like the fact it goes, first time players, barbarian, paladin, fighter, all the martial classes, pick those off. But setting wise, I'm only at 3. It didn't kind of grab me like other worlds that I've played in.
No, I was the same. I gave it a 3. I kind of liked their kind of brief kind of history of the world they gave. I thought it was really well written and mercifully brief. Yeah, maps are very serviceable, very much like the maps in Pathfinder, which I think was another thing that threw me with not really knowing what it was all about. But I found the setting just a little bit kind of generic from what I could tell. So I gave it a 3 as well.
Yeah, for the fact that it's, when you're talking about the kins, you've got like the 3 advanced, like the 4. You've got the sort of elves, dwarfs, and stuff. Then it's got the not Warforge. I can't think what they're called.
That's right.
The Tiefling, then the Holy One, which is obviously the opposite of the Tiefling.
And you got the dragon thing.
Dragonkin or Dragonus. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, direct influence from other games. But yeah, I would like to have seen more of that in the world, I kind of think. I want to find out from Troy, though. Just I want his player to do the bard and then see how you get on. So, yeah, what was your setting? Were you at 3?
I gave it a 3. I thought it was just very, very down the middle, quite generic.
Okay, so value for money. Retails in RRP about £110 for 2 books. Ooh. If you buy, you can buy them separately. So
well, 2 books and a screen. Don't forget the screen.
And the screen as box. But yeah, you can buy them separately if you want to. And separately comes in about £80 across for the 2. So that's totally 600 pages. You've got 100-odd monsters, plus there is the ability to randomly change monsters. Well, not randomly. You can vary the monsters at the back of the bestiary. So the way the monsters work, the mechanically, is really good because they work off dice and stuff. But
also,
I'm guessing
I don't know if you agree, but the best artwork in the book is in the monsters.
It is. It's in the book. No player is ever going to see the best artwork in the book, which is to me the wrong way around.
Agreed.
There's also not a single load of equipment in the book. All the players get starting equipment.
I didn't even notice that. Yeah,
and then you get magical items and things. But if you want to buy a sleeping bag, you can't. Because I couldn't find sleeping bag, I couldn't find rope, I couldn't find pitons. There's nothing I could find in there outside weapons and stuff.
Wow.
But yeah, magical equipment and stuff was ace. To say mechanically brilliant, layout amazing.
Now there's no equipment list. That might even bump my value for money down even further.
And you've got everything you want as long as you don't need to go adventuring or buy rations. I must have missed it. I'm sure I missed food somewhere. I don't know.
I don't remember. No, I mean, I must admit there were some parts of this book I went through very quickly, but I don't remember seeing it either, to be honest with you.
No, I just.
But for me, value for money, it only gets a 2. I just think it's a big outlay for something that's, I don't know, a little generic, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you. I've got to be careful because I actually physically bought this, and I'm going to want to sell it. I'm going to want to sell it at some stage, and I hope it's worth something. But it's staying in my collection. It's not going anywhere. I definitely want to run this. I'm really excited. I'd run it and I'd play it, so it's not going anywhere.
Right.
But you're right. If I was going to say, if I got this for free for a review copy, I'd go, yeah, this is value for money at 5. I didn't. I paid for this. I paid 97 of my hard-earned pounds for this. Got the PDFs as well. And it does feel like there are bits missing in the book. And I'm going to have to work on. I'm going to need a world book. I think there's enough of the world in here. But then, do we pull down something like Shadowdark? But saying that, Shadowdark's got enough tools to go and build a world. I'm sat. This is really tough because I've written down 4 here, but you've all made me want to go for 3 because if I turn around someone and go, look, because I think what's in here is brilliant, and I think people are really going to love the fact that it's a high fantasy speed game. But
I will say this: it's a very well designed book. Though the artwork is a bit inconsistent all over the place, there's a lot of it. There is an absolute ton of artwork in this thing. So it's a quality product. It's just how into it you would be. And I just think 97 quid it's a big outlay for something that you might not be into.
Yeah, because if you want fantasy done fast, these are all 60 quid for all 3 Nimble books. So I think maybe you convinced me to go down to 3 after going through it. I think
it's not often I change your mind on something.
No. If you've got spare cash and you want high fantasy with an incredibly interesting ability to create wonderful characters and stuff, I think this is I don't think you can go too far wrong. But
no,
you could buy an awful lot of stuff for 100 quid nowadays.
You can, yeah.
You know, you could go and buy. Let's just put it where it is on the leaderboard. And you could go and buy Oathhammer for 40 quid, and Pirate Borg, and Imperium Maledictum. Or you could. Does Nimble have a setting? Probably not.
So just
Nimble
while you've got the scoreboard up,
yeah,
this is where it sits. So I gave it 14 and you gave it 19, which gives us 33. So it sits.
Oh, it's worse than Traveller.
It sits just below Traveller, yeah. Better than Draw Steel, though.
It is. Everything's better than Draw Steel so far. Liz asked the question, does Nimble have a setting? I don't know. I don't think so. Because I can only read one lot of rule books at once. So as much as these have arrived, I haven't started even looking at them yet because I wouldn't be able to review not seventh age. That you wanted. It's you. You keep calling it seventh age.
I keep calling it seventh age. I get it confused with what is it? Seventh C is the other one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I always get those two confused.
So I don't know, but we have got a review of Nimble coming up at some stage. Which this feels like a really flimsy school book. Do you remember those?
Oh yeah, it does.
Those penguin books that used to have.
Oh, it's those Ladybird books, wasn't it?
Ladybird, yeah.
It
doesn't feel nice. It feels a bit cheapish.
It feels mercifully brief compared to what we have been looking at,
and looks really thin. Really, it
does look very thin. Actually,
it's got that nice noise though when you open it. You know, it cracks.
Oh, I like that sound.
I do like a cracking book, literally.
A cracking book.
Actually, this is 55 pages for £20.
Oh, value for money will be an interesting one on that.
But it has got a ribbon. That's where the money's gone.
5 out of 5.
Yeah, Games Master's book, 112 pages. Maybe a setting in that. I've got sidetracked, haven't I? I got completely distracted. 82 pages. So that's 60, 100, 108. About 250 pages for 60 quid. Do you know what? 13th Age is now starting to look like a bargain. Because it's over twice the pages for less than half the price.
Yeah, but they have to be good pages, Adrian.
You're so pedantic.
I am pedantic. I'm terrible. I agree. Yeah,
you agree. So, so that was second from bottom.
It's going to be it's going to take number 6.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nothing's going to beat Oathhammer, is it? It's going to
something
they're going to take some beating.
Oh,
you reckon?
They're great games, though, aren't they? Come on.
Yeah. Well, I think we've got about another 4 weeks until we get straight into the campaign.
I am so psyched for that.
So just waiting to. So we've got 2 more adventures of Liminal, and then we're off. So,
brilliant.
Cool. Any questions that we've missed out? Just haven't seen. No. Yeah. So if you want to be in a chance for winning this game that Juan liked only slightly better than Draw Steel, then get your comments in. But we're going to get on to then, I guess, our topic of the week, which is Burnout. Games Master Burnout. You don't want to speak, do you? Because you know I'm going to speak over you.
As soon as I say something, you're going to put that blooming thing up. I know you are.
I was so
weak.
I was so just going to cut you off.
I know you
thought, no. But no, that isn't going to be.
So in all honesty, have you ever felt burnt out being the GM before?
You're right. I don't think I ever have. I've not in a campaign that's ongoing.
Right.
Because I think, what would you class as burning out then? I think that's probably the best thing.
I suppose it depends on a few things. From my point of view, anyway, I've done games before where, I've put a lot of planning and work into getting it going, and then I've convinced myself that it's no good. So when the players aren't necessarily going the way that the game is, not the way the game's supposed to, but the way I kind of put all the breadcrumbs out for it to go, I kind of lose interest a little bit. That's happened before. Other times it's I just get bored of it, to be honest with you. Not often. I will be honest, it's not happened to me often.
So that actually brings on a point. Is burnout different, or is it the same as self-doubt? Because I would say that's different. Would you?
I think there's an element of it, yeah. Depends on the game, though, to be honest with you. I ran, probably in the early days of 5e, I ran a game that lasted for a long time. They went from levels 1 to 11, I think, before we stopped.
Yeah.
And I don't ever remember getting burnout with that. But then I ran a 5e game about I think it was the last game I ran, actually. It was about a year and a half ago. And we got 3 sessions in and I was done with it. I just had enough. And it wasn't because of the players or anything. I just had enough of running the game.
But is that because you didn't like the adventure or didn't like the players?
I didn't like the adventure, I think, with that one.
Yeah, so actually, I wouldn't class that as burnout necessarily.
Well, I think I can see what you're saying. It's like I think I've had GMs that don't put any prep into a game whatsoever, and it's really obvious.
Yeah.
But then I've also had brilliant GMs that put tons and tons of work in, and I can see they get burnt out because the work isn't paying off for them, I think.
Maybe we'll have to come on to that, the difference between player burnout and games master burnout. Because the only time I've kind of had it, and that's when I was running Storm King's Thunder.
All right.
Which is it's a relatively good adventure. It's a little bit linear, and then you get to a stage where the players sort of by random, by what artifact they find, then go and have to decide which of the giants, whether it's storm giant, clown giant, ice giant, fairy giant, baked bean giant, whatever the other giants in 5e were called. I can't remember now. And then it takes you down to like different adventures. Then it pulls them back to somewhere else, and then they go off to the end battle. And because my players picked one of the giants, the adventures I wasn't interested in, I got bored. Because I really wanted them to do like the interesting ice giant and go, they just ended up, and it was like, oh, I can't believe that's the one that's randomly been picked by the shrine. And I probably should have just made it up and changed it. But I then ended up wrapping a whole second adventure because they brought out Rime of the Frost Maiden.
That's right.
And I thought they're up in 10 towns as it is. So I went, do you know what? We'll just put them in the same adventure, which then got my enthusiasm back for it. Because they were doing something different, and the players happily, I entrapped them in 10 towns. So they tried to escape to do something else, and then I moved them on. So yeah, so like as Lucy saying here, is it related to boredom? I don't think it is. I think burnout is. I'm not doing this. I'm sick to death of what the players are doing, or you're over prepping too much and you don't want to run the session. You're in that whole, I can't be bothered to turn up to do it. I think that's what I've got. I think burnout as.
That second one is what I'm thinking it more is. But I think my experience is very different to yours, because with the exception of being a player in a Descent into Avernus game, I don't think I've ever ran any official adventure for anything. I've always just made my own adventures up.
Yeah. Yeah,
which I think is a bit different.
Yeah, I don't know what this red face means. I don't know what that means.
No idea.
No, we ran. We ran event into Avernus or whatever, Descent into Avernus. Our games master was bored. All of us were bored playing it. We just, in the end, because it's a MacGuffin adventure, just jumping around the map, speaking to people to go and get something. So no one's chat's working. That's why the chat's really quiet.
Right.
Everyone is being rejected, so no one's winning a copy of the book. Nobody wants it anyway after Dewan's.
Come on! Nobody listens to me.
No, but that's yeah, our games master was. But one of the things I look at when I start to get bored is I just kill the player. No, I don't. If you need a break, I would always say definitely take a break from the game. And you got two choices: do a one shot in something else, or more importantly, and I've did this once, do a one shot in the same world that you're playing in.
Yeah, that's it.
Because just create new characters, put them somewhere else. Because you haven't. One of the things that I think we invest in as a games master is time. We put a lot of time into a world prep campaign and everything else, which one of the burnout things you can do is putting too much prep time in, because you could spend your time 100%. A lot wiser. But yeah, go and run. If you run a one shot in the world that you're playing in, it might sort of revitalize the players as well, because they're going to sort of see a different aspect of the world. And if they are unfortunate enough to die, it's like no one can comment. I think we're struggling in here. If no one else can die, you want the world to be living. Is kind of what I'm saying, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think my solution to GM burnout is quite similar to yours. I think one of the ways, one of the times I felt it was I took a break from what we were doing, and I ran a one-shot Vampire the Dark Ages game.
Yeah,
and it was brilliant. Well, I say one shot; it was about 3 sessions, I think. But yeah, that sort of cleansed my palate. I felt refreshed. I felt like I could go back into the other game and do it. And I think from there on out, I think after that, I did change the way I ran games. So I'd run things in kind of smaller blocks, even if it was a larger campaign. I'd have kind of stopping points, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Points where if you need to take a break, you can take a break and play something else or do something else,
I think that's something that's become a problem of the modern world, because when we used to role play and we all used to go to clubs, let's say that, that there may have been 10, 15 of you in the club. Games used to run, I don't know if your clubs were similar, but most games used to run monthly. And then at the end of the month, everyone would then pick the next game they wanted to join in. So it forced people to run stuff into like 4-week blocks, so you could naturally get an end date.
That's really good, actually. Yeah, that's very good. No, we never used. I used to play in a club, and we used to have like a kind of an ongoing campaign that people would come in and out of, and we'd have other games going on as well. So you could pick and choose really what was going on. Typically, we would have a kind of a fantasy game going on, and then we would have normally like a Call of Cthulhu or a vampire game going on the side as well. And you could just kind of dip in and out of things. But typically people stuck with a game until they were at a point where they could leave. But I don't think it was as formal as every 4 weeks or anything like that.
Okay. So I'm just now jumping into, it seems we are getting problems with comments. And then Whispering Wrist was written, it's a UK verification issue. So I'm Googling that to find out what is going on.
It is a bit strange, isn't it? So YouTube has been a bit wonky today.
Yeah, it's going on about spam, but we don't set anything up. The account has been verified. We can't, because the account is linked to my main account. It's automatically verified. We had to verify this to be able to go live in the first place, so they won't actually do anything. All the good ones aren't coming through. This is weird. We've never had this before. Now the masses went through. Strange. Weird. I'll have to restart the app for comments to work. Yeah, try turning it on and off. That's one thing we can't do. So, yeah, you log out. Will it just stay here if we completely log out? And then you can come back? I don't know.
I don't feel like, I feel like this is not an us problem, and it's not a you problem. I think it's a YouTube problem.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me.
And all of your comments are amazing. So
always amazing.
Yeah. I've put down bi-weekly as well. If you're
bi-weekly,
yeah, and run a different game in the middle. Don't be Fred, or just have that week off. Because when I ran, what was it called? The Dungeons and Drakenheim campaign. I think that's the long. Well, there was that, and I did a Werewolf the Apocalypse campaign, and I never burnt out on that at all. But then I'd kind of planned out, because I bought the Umbra book.
Oh yeah.
So my players had to solve the problem in the Amazon, and to solve it, there was the 13 realms in the Umbra. So I wrote an adventure for every single realm in the Umbra that they had to solve an encounter in there before they could fix everything that was going on in the real world.
That sounds like more prep than I've ever done for anything.
Well, it wasn't actually that much prep, because if you think, all the Umbras had their separate sections in the book if you read it, and it gave separate hints and tips. So one of them was like Wolf Home, where the werewolves turn up and they turn into wolves. So it basically went, for the first time, the characters were forced to deal with every problem as a wolf. They couldn't even properly speak. They could speak to each other, but they couldn't speak to anything else. and interact with stuff. They couldn't pick up stuff. They had no opposable thumbs. They'd lost all their items and equipment, and they had to deal with it in the way that a wolf would actually deal with it. And from my group, it's one of the, I would say that's because I ran it, but it's one of their favorite ongoing campaigns. But it got to the stage where we were even skipping uni and college for me to run sessions where we were going to the club, finishing at 10, going back to my mate's house, running through till 4 a.m, then just not getting up and going to college, And I was
those were the days, weren't they?
Yeah.
When you had that kind of energy.
Yeah. And I never once burnt out, and I never once, they said, "Oh, do you want to play someone else?" It was never an option. It was just, they just wanted to get to the end and, get to, I think it was rank 5, wasn't it? The highest you could be as the werewolf,
right.
And go through. But Drakkenheim, I did find, I think that was a year and a half of my life. But the thing I felt most draining wasn't the game, wasn't the adventure. It's the fact it used 5e. So there were certain creatures they'd go and fight. And it was 2 weeks worth of sessions they were still fighting. And I was like, I really need to just reduce the hit points or something. Because most 5e battles go like this. I don't know if everyone's the same. They start attacking the creature. They'll do a little bit of damage. The creature almost wipes out one character in one hit. They get a little bit panicky, but in reality, they still stand there. And then they just keep hitting it. Eventually, something goes down. They'll then bring it back up. Something else will go down. They'll bring it back up. They'll eventually then start getting through the halfway because I'll do the blooded bit. And that's creatures in 5e. It's just a combat of people just for weeks at a time. It feels sometimes.
You're not wrong. And now you've said that, you're making me realize that, I think the time I had the biggest amount of burnout was because, I was fed up of that particular game system.
Yeah.
I think we'd played it was 5e. We'd played 5e a lot. I wasn't particularly, and I don't think the players were either. Nobody was excited about the possibilities of their character class or anything like that. I wasn't particularly excited about the system. I think that's what it was, really. I was just fed up of it.
But I think you also get that with 5e, and this isn't bashing 5e deliberately. But nobody, so looking at 13th Age, just take it for example, you've got so many options within your class, they're called in that everything, if they all played the same, would be different. With 5e, because of multi-classing, no one really pursues a class to the end anymore. They meta build the best option because someone on the internet's told them, or someone on Reddit has told them the most powerful way of playing, and it doesn't feel like a game anymore. It feels more like a game than a role-playing session, and they're looking to do the most amount of damage because they probably want to end a combat.
Warforge has just said, sounds like boredom. I would take it a step further and say it's a mixture of boredom and frustration.
Yeah, I think so. I think because 5e builds incredibly interesting monsters, and it builds incredibly interesting classes. But the reality is, most combats are just people stood around, other than the archer that will go shoot, go and hide. So then he's being attacked at disadvantage, and everyone else is the party's like, really? You're at full hit points. I'm down to 2 hit points. You're still hit bit over there where you could take a good 6 or 7 hits. I could have a little bit like a respite and breather, because a lot of characters, they're going down, popping back up, hitting, going back down again, and the rogue's still hidden at the back.
Yeah, I have absolutely played that character before.
Yeah, so have I.
in fact, I'm pretty sure in our last Shadow Dark game, that was essentially the character I played.
Yeah. Oh, you should have played in when I was running the latest version of Pathfinder. Jay, that was Jay's character, Jay Lassard. But he couldn't hit anything. He could not hit anything. Every shot, he played for about 5 weeks and then stopped. He just went, I've had enough. And I think he ran something else. Wow. But he didn't hit anything at all. Then? I think he just got fed up of rolling badly.
Certainly player frustration,
yeah. This isn't good. My burnout was like a racer collapsing before the finishing line. That's quite a vicious burnout. That is.
Yeah.
I
mean, I've always played with for the most part, fairly relaxed players who are very kind of understanding about things like that. And as a player, I've always tried to be understanding of the pressure and the amount of work the GM has to do. But I am aware of players who just don't understand that, and they expect, you are here for my entertainment, you will provide this, this, and this. So is it that, particularly in Whispering Wisps case, is it that your players are wanting you to do too much?
Yeah, I think that might be also, this is a big thing. 4 hours a week for a year straight. I couldn't sit in a 4-hour game session.
No.
And I assume that is 4 hours. Our game sessions now are 2 to 2.5 hours, pretty much max. I can't concentrate. I can't focus for much longer than that. And I'm old and I get tired.
Well, we play around the table in my flat every Sunday night, but we typically spend about an hour talking rubbish, and then we'll have some food, and then we'll play. So I reckon we only play for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, if that.
Yeah, and
I think that's 4 hours.
Yeah, and I think that's why we don't play 5th edition. Because if you're playing 5th edition, you couldn't even get a combat done in an hour and a half.
You would struggle.
You've got to hope it. Yeah, regardless of what level you're on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolute nightmare. Not as bad as the fact that no comments are coming through. So,
well, there's 1 or 2 coming through now, I think. But
but
we'll have to sort that out. What's happened there? That's really irritating.
No. I wonder if I put kisses on. It bans my kisses.
Maybe that's it. Maybe you banned it all from last week with your kisses.
I broke it all. Yeah, YouTube was like, no, that's too pervy. So, right. I think we
can post anything.
Yeah. It allowed me to. I can post. No, I've got hello. So I don't know. Right, let me. Is it anti-spammed you as well?
Yeah. Well, I can see my post on the chat, but I can't see it on our thing. Very
weird.
Strange.
Yeah. He's been barred.
I've been barred from our own stream.
You have.
Terrible.
Right. So it's only 12 then, because of whatever mess. So apologies if you wanted to be involved in this and you haven't managed to get anything up. As I'm collating this, Juan might want to talk us through a new weekly video we're going to be doing. That's going to come out on... What day did we decide it's coming out? It's Sunday nights, I think.
Sunday, I think, yeah. Yeah. Have you got the nice thumbnail that I provided for you?
Let's go with yes. I have got it. Hold on.
It's okay. I'm just winding you up. So we're going to start making kind of non-live videos. We're still going to do lives every Wednesday night, but we're going to do some non-live videos on the channel, which I think would be quite interesting. So we're going to do a little kind of mini series to begin with that we're calling In Defense Of, where I take a game that I'm very familiar with, that's maybe an old game that Adrian isn't familiar with, and I try and pitch him on why that game is great. And the first game I'm choosing is the Palladium fantasy role-playing game. I will say the revised edition, not first edition, and definitely not second edition. And I'm going to pitch him on why I think this is a good game. And then the following week, he's going to do the same to me on a game that I've never heard of before. So yeah.
So that's the idea. So I've picked Boot Hill, which is a very old Western game. So, and I'm going to go specifically 3rd edition. I do have 1st, 2nd, and 3rd edition, but I think 3rd edition. So yeah, we're going to revitalize old games that neither of us are aware of, and we're going to try and pitch it and sell it to one another in a pre-recorded. And I think Sunday nights, I think is the time that it's going to sort of go out live. That's the idea. Right. So 13 comments. Let's just pull up 12 comments. Let's get the wheel up. It's never been so quiet, the wheel. This is, I feel bad for those that tried to put up, but the good news is it's a better chance of winning, I think. That is the best bit, isn't it? So wheel. Number 7.
Number 7.
Which is Semper. So, Semper, if you are still here, I would say comment.
I don't know.
So,
I did a little kind of funny D thing, and it's let that one up weirdly.
Yeah, but it's come up like 3-4 minutes after the app. So
oh no, I did that just now. It's okay.
Yeah. So Mega's just saying now only now is coming through. So we've had, I don't know what issues we've had. So all we can do is apologize on behalf of that on behalf of YouTube.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how, but we'll try and sort it for next week.
Yes. Yeah. So what are we going to be talking about next week?
Oh, now you're asking. Let me get the list up.
And then who's review pick? I picked 13 Days, didn't I? So it's up to you to pick the review.
God, now you're asking. Do you want to do Nimble?
Do you own a copy of Nimble, or am I expected to give you yet another free book?
I think you know the answer to that.
I can see why you started this channel now.
Yeah,
it should be called Juan's Too Tight to Buy Anything. Adrian, send me a free copy so we can fake a review.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
well, not fake. I do have to do the review. That's the thing, isn't it?
You do make me unfair.
Yeah, and you do pick games that I don't like.
That is quite becoming quite apparent, actually.
Right, so, I've got the list. So, TM Burnout.
Yeah, I nearly picked up a couple of TMT revised the other day. But the PDF is so expensive, and I can't find a physical copy anywhere at this moment.
I've got the original still. I love that game.
Yeah.
Right. So our talking point for next week is: are actual plays hurting or helping the hobby?
What does that mean?
Well, you wrote it.
I think that was to do with VTTs and face-to-face.
Okay. So do we want to say are VTTs hurting the hobby?
Yeah, because
I was going to say you do quite a lot of actual plays.
Yeah, Semper, you won. So as much as you can't comment, but just message me in Discord. I'd say message me. I know who you are. Well, I don't know who you are. You could come and punch me in the street and I wouldn't know. Don't punch me in the street.
Yeah, it's probably good you tell people not to punch you in the face.
Not to punch me, yeah. I shouldn't have to tell people not to punch me, really.
Well, we live in a strange world these days.
Yeah. So is VTTs ruining the hobby? Is that what we're going with?
I think that's it, yeah.
Okay, and then reviewing. You you so want Nimble, don't you? You are such a type.
I really do, yeah.
Nimble it is.
Nimble it is.
Nimble it is. All right, fantastic. So everyone, really sorry that the comments haven't worked and we couldn't get anyone to actually interact with it this week. That's kind of really annoying. Hence the reason why we want, the reason we do this live is so people can interact.
Yeah.
We can, share your opinions and views.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll leave it there. We're going to go now record a video for, I think it's Sunday. So I'm really looking forward to Juan try and explain to me why I should add Palladium to my system, because I think it's a system I've never. Isn't that GURPS? No, it's not GURPS. It's the other one. Rifts.
Well, this is why I'm going.
Okay, don't spoil the video. Actually, don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not Rifts. That's my point. Second edition is Rifts. This isn't.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Juan, again, thanks for reviewing your free book. That
always a pleasure, mate.
And I'll see you next week.
Yep, absolutely.
Thanks, everyone. I probably can't even write to say thank you because let's
give it a go. See if it pops up.
No. Thank you all. With 2 kisses. YouTube rejected your comment. This usually means they think it's spam. Try changing it a bit.
Let me try.
Fucking hell. Let's take the kisses out. No, it doesn't even like it without kisses. I'm just going to put thank.
No, mine's not called either. That's weird. Yeah.
No, that is really bad.
Very strange.
You spam when one of my mates loves spam.
What, out of a can?
Yeah. He thinks it's nice.
With the gel.
Yeah.
The worst. The worst.
Disgusting stuff. So, but yeah. Right. Yeah, we're going to go. Really annoyed. I can't believe none of the comments. I can't even thank everyone in our own comments.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hopefully
likewise.
Next week this will be fixed. I'm going to have a look and see if, like Whisper said, if there's something additional we need to do. But saying that, this is the first week it's ever happened. So it's never happened before. But
yeah.
Right, everyone. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week. Hopefully you can comment. Thanks, Em. Bye.
See you now.